Thank you for attending the Week of Kindness. Coming up next is another powerful, impactful, amazing speaker. Get your notepad out, get your pen. Let's get ready and enjoy.
Wow. I tell you what, guys, where's my friend Eric? There you are.
Hi, guys.
So we're
Hi,
bringing out
Tony.
somebody so special that he needs two experts to introduce him. And uh, how did you? I guess okay, there you are. For some reason, I just dropped the entire screen. Eric, how did you meet David?
Actually, well, I've heard of David through many grapevines and
Right.
many different circles, but Ronnie Tsunami, who's actually one of the speakers on the Week of Kindness stage, and one of our clients, we do his podcast. Ronnie Tsunami had him on um, the JV Jams live stage, and so he told me that I need to meet Mr. David. I need to chat with David. I need to get to know David, and he was right. So we're now in some great conversations
Yeah.
on really strong collaborations with JV Directory, which
I'm
uh,
totally, and we went the other way. As Mark Porteous and I had been in a couple of programs together with Jay Facette and some other folks that we have mutual mentors with, and I support Mark in anything he does. That man is he's just amazing. He's one flight away from being a saint, for as far as I'm concerned. But Mark told me about David, and he says, "Hey, I've joined up with this, and we're doing that." And I'm like, you know what, Mark, just you had me at hello. Just tell me what you want me to do for you guys. So, without further ado, what do you think, Eric? David Riklan is the founder of selfgrowth.com, one of the top self improvement websites on the internet, having received over 100 million views and visitors since it was created. David is a co founder of what you and I are talking about, Eric, the Joint Venture Directory, a top resource for finding joint venture affiliates and partnerships in the self improvement industry. He's also an author, he's a coach, he's a speaker. He's got over 10 books on self improvement, health, marketing, sales. I can go on and on. Two of his
David
books.
has
Go
a
ahead.
phone book like this thick of some of the top leader industry, but most of them are on our wall of fame actually. But it's amazing. So you guys are going to get a lot out of this. So I don't know, Tony. Without further ado,
Let's
uh,
bring up David. Let's bring the man
there
up.
he is.
Hello, hello.
What's
Hey,
up, David?
David. So, oh, you take your earplugs out now. We finished introducing you.
All right. Oh, good to go. Hold on a second. Can you hear me? Can you see me?
We can see you.
Okay. Just want to
Yeah, we
make
got you. So we're gonna go ahead and give you the stage, man. The microphone is yours here on the Week of Kindness and Gratitude stage.
all right. Sounds good. Very excited to be here and very excited to talk about partnerships and joint ventures. We have a lot of good ideas I'm going to be sharing today. I actually have some slides I'm going to be presenting, and we'll take a look. Let's hope this works for folks. I'll show you in a second what we're doing. And we're going to jump in over here. Hopefully everybody can see this. We're going to be talking about how to use joint ventures and partnerships to grow your business. I'm very excited to be here for the Week of Kindness and Gratitude. As Eric and Tony mentioned, I'm David Riklan, the founder of selfgrowth.com, the co-founder of the Joint Venture Directory. And I'm going to be covering some very specific things today, with the goal being to help you grow your business. So we're specifically going to be talking about things that can help you grow your business. It's great for anybody who has their own business, if you're a solopreneur. It's great if you're working for somebody, if you're looking to help them expand their business. And these are a lot of strategies that you can use in terms of growing your business and expanding what you're doing and expanding your reach. The main things I'm going to be starting with is just talking about this concept of joint ventures and where to get started. Then I'm going to be talking about finding partners who will get you in front of their ideal clients and what to say to get connected to top industry leaders, even if they never heard of you. And then for those of you who are looking to get on podcasts or summits, we're going to be talking about how to get on podcasts and summits and things like that to kind of expand your position and who you are. I always like to start with a little bit of my background. I, like many of you, might have started in corporate America. I worked for Hewlett Packard for a number of years. And then I ended up going to work part-time for Dale Carnegie. And it was a great course. I was teaching a course called Effective Speaking and Human Relations. And then back in 95, this goes way back relative to the world of the internet, I founded a website. I bought a domain name. I spent my $35 and I bought selfgrowth.com. And for a number of years, I was running it as a hobby and then a side business. And that was my focus. And while I was doing this, I started learning about joint ventures. And my personal experience was very simple. Joint ventures became one of the most powerful, low cost, and low risk ways to really get known, build your tribe, and build your business. And I'm going to explain how I did that. So I'm going to take everybody back. I started using joint ventures in a book. So back in the day when I was starting my business, and I decided to go full time. And one of the things that I did is I published a book. And it was called Self-Improvement, the Top 101 Experts. And I wasn't sure how to market it. So I had this book. It was originally an ebook. And I was thinking, all right, what's the best way of getting it out there? And at the time, I had a small email list, a handful of people on my email list. I did have a website. I was getting some traffic to it, but I didn't have a particularly large reach. And I'd been doing this as a side business for quite some time at that point. And what had happened is over the course of the couple of years before I came out with my book, I was promoting different things on my website. And one of the people I was promoting was Jim Rohn. I love Jim Rohn. And for those of you who don't know who Jim Rohn is, he's known as a mentor to Tony Robbins, Jack Canfield, Brian Tracy, quite a few different people. So I had this book trying to figure out how to market and how to sell it. And I came up with this very simple idea. What I was going to do is I was going to launch it on one day. I was going to do a special promotion on that one day. And I was going to get a whole bunch of people to recommend it. The problem is I didn't know that many people. I had some contacts. I reached out to my contacts. Oh, one of the interesting contacts that I had, his name was Kyle Wilson, and he worked for Jim Rohn. And at that point, I had been recommending Jim Rohn stuff on my website. So every once in a while, I'd put stuff on my website recommending Jim. In addition to recommending on my website, what I would do is we had a small email newsletter. I put in a promo for Jim Rohn, buy Jim Rohn's products. And I had been doing this for a couple of years. So at this point, I reached out to Kyle Wilson, who's working for Jim. And I said, hey, Kyle, is there any chance you can help me? I'm launching this new book called Self-Improvement, the Top 101 Experts Who Help Us Improve Our Lives. Is there any way you can support us? And Kyle had checked with Jim. He came back and he emailed me. He said, Dave, you've been supporting us for years without asking for anything. You've been promoting us through your newsletter, on the website. You know, whenever we asked you to do anything, you'd promote it. We'd be happy to promote you. And I was delighted. I was very excited. Jim Rohn was going to support me. So Jim Rohn, on that fateful day when I launched my book, along with maybe 15 other smaller players, all agreed to promote my book on the same day. And it was a crazy day. In one day, with the help of roughly 15 other companies and people, I had sold $108,000 worth of this ebook in 24 hours. It was crazy. We literally sold over 4,000 copies in that one day. And over the course of the year since then, I've done a lot of stuff, but that really, this joint venture, this partnership literally changed my life. And after that, I had ended up publishing 10 different books, and selfgrowth.com at this point has gotten over 100 million unique visitors to the website since it was created. So this has been a crazy journey. And in addition to all the traffic that I've gotten, I've also had a tremendous opportunity to work with a wide range of people, and including the people that are part of our event today, our Week of Kindness event. A lot of great people here as well. And I just wanted to share with you some of the people I've had a chance to work with. And it's, you know, Brian Tracy, Deborah Potvin, Brendan Burchard, Wayne Dyer I've interviewed, Jack Canfield, Marcy Scheimoff, and really a lot of people. And it's all because of partnerships. So these are all partnerships of some sort that I've created. So let's take a look at what these partnerships are. So for anybody who has a business and is looking to do joint ventures to grow their business, I want to spend a few minutes sharing the value of joint ventures and joint venture partners. So there's a number of ways you can work with other potential people that can help you. And our goal is really simple. If you have a business, basically you have two things you want to do. You want to sell more products or services, or you want to expand your reach and get more people to know about you and what you're doing. And I'm sharing right now on the screen a number of different ways that you can do that. So one basic way that a lot of people use joint ventures for is asking people to promote you by email. People have an email, let's say, hey, can you send out an email recommending me? Or ask people to promote you on social media. And if you're watching right now or watching a recording of this, I want you to jot down some of these in terms of things that you'd want other folks to do for you. So another one, and this is one that I started with Jim Rohn, was people promoting you on their website or blog. And then potentially people interviewing you if you want to be on their podcast, or people putting you on a summit. Right now, this is really a big joint venture for the Week of Kindness, and we're all supporting each other and recommending this. And it's really a group of people partnered together to help support each other. If you have a book or a product, you can get people to review your book or product, or people to work with jointly to create products with. So there's really a lot of ways that you can use joint ventures. And I want you to just jot these down. And we're going to be explaining how to use this and how to really get started with this. In addition to some of those core ways, I wanted to share a few other ways that people can support you with joint ventures. And I also threw this word in: joint venture partnerships and affiliates. Affiliates or affiliate programs are just technology that uses the internet and computer software to track who's recommending who. So it's a tracking system for recommendations on the internet. So you could be looking for people to promote your affiliate program, and many of us are looking for speaking opportunities. I mentioned earlier brainstorming. Sometimes you might be looking for people to model or learn from, or in some cases, people that provide services to help you build your business. Or you might want to be involved in a giveaway. So I wanted to put a bunch of ideas out there for you, so you have a clear understanding of the value for partners and affiliates. So, and jot the ones down that make sense for you. One of the things I think anybody in business might be realizing at this point, as you're looking at this list, is there are a wide range of ways that joint ventures and these partnerships can help you. Let's take a look at what you need to get started. And there's only a few things that you need to get started with joint ventures. I like to simplify things. So let's take a look at the simplest thing. So if you have a business, you need at least an idea. If you don't have your product or service, you need an idea about a problem that you solve and a target market. That's really all you need. But ideally, you also want some sort of product or service in your niche to sell. And these are literally the three core things that you need. So let's take a look at how to get started forming these kind of joint ventures, even if you're brand new. So let's take a look at a starting point. So the first thing that I recommend is developing some sort of master list of people that you want to work with. And what are these people? These are the people that can help you. These are people with email lists or social media reach or people in your industry. And the way I recommend it is building some sort of customer resource, customer management system, CRM. And it could be something as simple as a spreadsheet or a database or Keep or iContact, something like this. You want to make a list of people. And for example, if you're participating in the Week of Kindness, some of the other speakers on the Week of Kindness might be good partners for you. So you want to create a dream list. You can literally use Excel, but the company name, person's name, email, contact, stuff like that. So it's really easy. Just develop some sort of master list. And then as you're doing this, I want you to extend this master list. And you can do it by attending events or tracking summits. So I mentioned we've had, I think, close to 50 speakers that are part of this summit. So all 50 speakers are potential people to put on your master list that you want to add. And then you can take a look on these people and see who they recommend. Or you can do searches on Google. And the goal is really to identify as many people as possible. And a little trick that I use that I recommend to track what everybody's doing is once you see people and identify someone you want to work with, sign up for their stuff so you can see who they're recommending and what they're doing. But one of the things I recommend doing as you're signing up with an email address, don't use your primary email address. Unless, of course, if you're buying a product or you want to get their stuff all the time, you want to use your primary. But if you're just looking to see what they're doing, what I recommend doing is signing up for their list on an extra email. Get yourself an extra Gmail address and then sign up for all their stuff. But whenever you're signing up for an actual program or something live, make sure you use your primary. You don't want to miss this stuff. So after you do this, you're building up your list. Now you have a list of people you want to work with. And the question is, all right, how do you approach these people and what are you doing? So the first and really key piece of the puzzle for me is understand the value you bring to partners. And this really ties in so much to the week of kindness. And there's a quote in here from Zig Ziglar, and I'll explain how I feel it ties in. And his quote is, you can have everything in life you want if you will just help other people get what they want. And for me, that ties in, kindness is helping people get what they want. To me, there's no stronger value in terms of kindness than supporting people get what they want. And I think what you'll find if you use that as your strategy, if your strategy is to help people in terms of the areas that they need help and they want help, it's going to come back. It's the law of karma, the law of reciprocity. It's really, really valuable. So let's take a look at the main ways that people are looking for help. One is people are looking for you to help them sell their product or help them build their platform and extend their reach, or maybe generate income for them. So there's a number of different approaches, but let's take a look. We're going to break that down to give you a little bit more clarity. I'm going to recommend everybody start writing down, take some good notes here, because they're really good ideas that I've gotten from other folks that we use to help you support potential partners. And some of these ideas are the flip or reciprocal of the things you're looking for. So if you remember earlier, I mentioned that you might be looking to have someone promote you by email. What a great way to support them, promote them by email if you have an email list. Let's say you just have a following on Facebook or LinkedIn or some friends, promote them on social media. If you have a website, link to them on your website. If you have a podcast, interview them on their podcast, put them on their summits. If you have they have some sort of book or product, you can always review their book or product. It's really powerful. There's a lot of things that you can do. So I'm going to ask people as we're going over here, just take a minute and start jotting down the ones that bring the most value that you think you can do to bring the most value. Let's take a look. We're really going to be focusing a lot on bringing value because the more value you bring, I said, the more you're helping out there, the more it comes back to you. So I mentioned this concept of promoting someone's affiliate program or your own program. So if you promote their program, very powerful as well. You might be able to find them speaking opportunities, also very, very powerful. Or you might be able to just brainstorm or mastermind with them. Or an example is you might provide an example to model and learn from, or provide services to help them. So we all have an area of expertise. So if you have a particular service or something that you can do, that's value you're providing them. Another area is if you're doing a giveaway, you put people in your giveaway. So really gain clarity on this. So let's take a look at how we proceed over here. So it's a very simple concept. When you're looking to work with someone, we've done the first two things. The first thing we did is identify and have some clarity on what we need help with. And those are things like someone promoting us by email or social media. And then the next thing we spent some time talking about is understanding what value that we bring to the table. So I'm going to share with you what I consider a relatively simple 3-step process that you're going to need to take at this point. So at this point, let's take a look at what you've done. You've identified at this point who you want to work with. You have this master list. You've identified the value you bring to the table, and you have in your mind, you have clarity on what you're looking for help with. So the idea in terms of how you reach out to them is first you understand what you bring to the table. This is WIIFM, or what's in it for me? What's the value in it for me? The next step of the process is you want to write a clear proposal to them if you're speaking, or explain it if you're talking to them on the phone, or an email post if you're doing it through social media, however you're reaching them. You want to write a clear proposal explaining to them at the beginning of how you can help, how you can support them. Say, for example, if I want to work with Eric. Eric, I love your stuff. I'd love to promote and send out an email. I'd love to interview you, something along those lines. Let's say Eric Zuli is the person you want to work with. And another area, after you write this clear proposal, and you can explain what you can do and send them the details, another option when you can do it is to find an intermediary to make an introduction. So whenever you have a mutual person in common, it's always a better, more appropriate approach. So if you can find someone to make an introduction, all the more power to you. So let's take a look at what we do at this point. So we have this list, what I describe as this master list. And at this point, 50, 100 people, I have literally 1,000 people on my master target list. And what you want to do is prioritize who you're working with. And I mentioned earlier, you can segment them in different ways. And in some cases, what we do is we follow them on social media. I explained I have an extra email. I subscribe to their newsletters. And whenever I see something, as I said, of real interest and real value, I use my main email. And the best approach to using joint ventures and partnerships is to start with what I describe as the low-hanging fruit. So who are your low-hanging fruit to start with? So these are people that might have a comparable size and reach of an audience. Let's say you have 100 people on your email list, or 500 people that you're friends with on Facebook or in your Facebook following. Similar reach, non-competitive, and they're reaching a similar target market. And the concept's very simple. You're coming to them, you say, hey, I see we target the same folks. We don't have competing products. I'd be happy to recommend you if you recommend me. And of course, you want to provide them and step forward with something of value. What are you going to do with them first? So start with the low-hanging fruit. As you're building and continuing to do this process of partnerships, I recommend you go to the next level, or what I describe as stretch companies to work with. So these people are a little larger than you, larger size, they might have larger reach, also non-competitive, similar target markets. And it really begins with figuring out what of value to them that you can provide. And there's some things I'm going to step into and really expand this whole concept of value, because that's what this is all about. Partnerships are all about understanding the value that you bring, so that the more clarity you have on the value, the better. And a message that I have for every single one of you is that we all have substantial value that we can bring to the table. So this is for companies. These strategies are great for companies that are your size, a little bigger, but in certain cases, we want to get connected to top industry leaders. And in some cases, top industry leaders that don't know us, they've never heard of you. So what do you do? How do you approach these folks that you want to work with? So let's take a look at some strategies. The first question is, who are the top industry leaders? So I look at top industry leaders as people with a powerful email list, large audience. They could have a large social media reach, substantial web traffic, New York Times bestseller. They have a big business and they have a reach. So let's take a look. If you're going to reach out to these people, it becomes more critical to understand the value you bring to them. So I have a whole nother section of additional ways you can bring value. So let's take a look at some of them. A lot of these bigger players have a following on social media, on Facebook, on Twitter, on LinkedIn. So what you can do literally immediately, and these are things we can all start doing today, is participate in their community and their social media platforms. Follow them, start commenting, liking, things like that. You can also buy their products and services, see what they're doing, and you could recommend their products and services, provide testimonials, things along those lines. And here's a big one: become a raving fan. So that's what I did with Jim Rohn, and I really was a raving fan. I love what Jim Rohn was doing, and I just accidentally became a raving fan because I love what he was doing. And one of the things I mentioned, number 5 over here, is I was republishing their articles on my website, just an approach. And they saw these little things, and these little things add up. A few other things that you can do. If you have a website, you can link back to their website. If you have any sort of social media reach of your own, you're on Twitter, you're on Facebook, you're on LinkedIn, you can take their posts and just share them, repost or share their posts. And I mentioned earlier, participate in their social media platforms. And number 9 is fairly important also. And the reason number 9 is make powerful introductions. The reason this one is so important is if you can make the right introduction to someone who's a bigger player, they will be grateful for that introduction and they will want to help and support you. And the things to keep in mind relative to what they're really looking for at the end of the day, they're still looking for the same thing we all want. We want people to help us sell their product and build their audience. So you always want to think in mind, how can you help them do that and generate additional income from them? So anytime you can help them make money, they will appreciate it. So let's go. Once you figure this out, once again, have that clear understanding. What do we do next? It's back to the same strategy that I mentioned earlier. You want to understand what you bring to the table, the what's in it for me, WIIFM. Write this clear proposal explaining how you can help, and whenever possible, find an intermediary to make an introduction. Very, very important. So let's take a look. I want to spend a few minutes now talking about another way to increase your reach. And the way I want to talk about are podcasts, summits, and other events that enable you to position yourself as an expert in your niche. So why is this important? Why is getting on podcasts? Why is being in a place like this, a summit like this, important? It's very simple. It gets you in front of a bigger audience. And a question a lot of people ask me is, why is this considered a joint venture? And it's a joint venture because it's an exchange. And I'll show you how it's an exchange in a minute. And you're each providing value. And I'll step you through how that works and what value that you can bring to the table. If you want to get on a podcast or a summit, the first step is a real simple step. You need to add these people to your list. So I have the master list. We talked about this master list. So you want to search for top podcasts and put these all in your database. Put these all in this Excel spreadsheet of podcasts, of summits, and start adding. As I mentioned earlier, of the Week of Kindness is a potential summit. Put that on your list. There's tons of summits. Event Raptor has a bunch of summits. Identify podcasts and summits from top people you already know in your niche. And then see what summits the people on your master list are in. And this is really important so you can expand it. The goal, of course, is to always build this master list and then reach out. So we're going to continue along the same strategy that we mentioned earlier. So let's take a look. So what's that strategy? Understand the value that you bring. So let's take a look specifically for podcasts and summits, what you bring to the table. So one of the things you bring to the table is good content or a good story. Hopefully I had a good story at the beginning and I'm sharing good, useful content for you. And hopefully that's what I'm bringing to the table for the folks here who are hosting the Week of Kindness. And that's my goal, to really bring that value. And then another thing that you can do is support their business. Anything that you can do that we talked about earlier, where you can get more people seeing what kind of products or listening to their podcast, the more you can do that, the better. Another potential thing is promote their podcast. And this number 4 goes back to something I've been saying, provide connections or introductions. And number 5 is an interesting one, especially for podcasts and summits. Provide a potential for them to earn money, a referral or an affiliate commission. And I'm going to explain how that works. So let's say you want to be a guest on a podcast. You could be a guest on a podcast. And as being a guest, you can share the good content and a good story. Some podcast hosts will also let you share information about a product or a service that you have on the call. So imagine being able to go to the podcast host or the summit host and say, hey, I have this great content. love to speak. And if I can share information about my product or service, I'll be happy to share an affiliate commission with you. And in this way, you can reward them financially. And we do this a lot. We're going to be sharing a tool for joint ventures and partnerships in a little bit. It's called the Joint Venture Directory. And with that, whenever we're speaking, we offer people an opportunity to join our joint venture directory. And anybody who puts us on as a guest, we give them commission, we give them affiliate commission. So we practice what we preach over here. So let's take a look and see exactly how this works relative to all these things that you're bringing to the table over here. So I talked about good content, things like that. And one of the things I want to mention is you should be writing all these down and should have great clarity at this point in terms of what you're bringing to the table. And a quick tip I want to add to you, specifically if you want to get on podcasts. And I was given this podcast head a while ago, and I've loved it, and I like passing it forward. If you ever want to get on a podcast or in the future on any kind of summit, the first thing you want to do for podcasts specifically is check out the podcast and listen to at least one of the episodes. Very, very important. You want to get a feeling, is this a good podcast for you? Go to Apple, go to iTunes, go to wherever and find out, is this good for you? And then if it's good for you, what I want you to do is jot down some notes, and I want you to go to that podcast and give it a 5-star rating. And then write a review of the podcast. So it's very important. It needs to be good, and you want to do it sincerely. You want to give a good, sincere review of it. After you've done that, find out how to contact the podcast host. If you're interested in getting on that podcast, send an email to the podcast host. It could have a subject line that says something like, just listen to your podcast on productivity, on parenting, whatever it is. Could be the subject line. Hello, Jim, Jennifer, podcast host. I just listened to your podcast on productivity, and you had a great guest. You're a great interviewer. It was a phenomenal podcast. I loved your podcast so much. I just gave you a 5-star rating. And in addition to giving you a 5-star rating, I just gave you the review, and here's a copy of my review below. And then after that, you can continue with the conversation and what you're looking to do. Here's where the real power comes in. So the first thing that you did in this relationship with them is give. Then you're being kind, you're being supportive. That's literally the first thing that you did. You were supporting them. And you want to do it out of sincerity. You really want to find podcasts that are good, that are a good fit for you. So you want to do it sincerely. But the first thing they get is an email about what value you've already given to them. So guess what? Podcast host read this. First, the podcast host is very, very happy. Thank you very much. That everybody loves. I don't care how many reviews you get. People love good reviews. You can always use more good reviews. So you're already out on a positive step. And they are much more likely to listen and read the rest of the email. And in the rest of the email, you could talk a little bit more about what you do. And then you can say, look, I think I could be a potentially good guest for you. What's the process for being a guest on your show? What do I need to do? What are the steps? And literally, I find that this is the most powerful approach. So let's take a look. And it's the same process or a similar process to everything I've been talking about in terms of partnerships. So step 1, understand what you bring to the table. Step 2, write a clear proposal explaining how you can help. And step 3, when you can, and this goes for podcast hosts and everybody here, I think we're getting the gist of it at this point, find an intermediary to make an introduction. So let's take a look. We covered a lot of things today. Let's take a look at some of the stuff we talked about. So we started by talking about what's the best start? What's the starting point for forming these joint ventures, even if you're brand new? And then we talked about how to find partners who are going to put you in front of your ideal clients, what to do to get connected to top podcast leaders, even if they never heard of you, then how to get featured on popular podcasts and other events. And really, what you want to do is position yourself as an expert in your niche. So I'm hoping you got a lot of value over what I've shared today. But there's a number of things I want to share with you relative to these strategies, some of the things that we've seen. And there's some challenges with the strategies. The first one that I've seen, it can really be overwhelming to research the potentially hundreds of different websites to find all this information. And it's also time consuming to find good partners, podcasts, and joint venture partners, people you want to work with. And one of the things I've seen is you can also end up spending a large amount of time and money and effort with unqualified partners, prospects, and service providers. So what I've done with my partner, Mark Porteous, is we've put together a program called the Joint Venture Directory. And our host today asked me to share some information about the program and to show you a little bit about what we've done and to offer you a special opportunity to join risk-free today relative to what we're doing to kind of test it out, see if it's a good solution for you. And the Joint Venture Directory is really designed to help you get the connections you need to grow your business. So let's take a look. The Joint Venture Directory is best described as a searchable online directory and a community for anybody with a business in the broad self-improvement industry. So let's take a look at how we describe this and what this is. So for us, the self-improvement industry is very broad. So this is for you, and ideal for you if you have some sort of business that you're in that fits under one of these broad headings. So the broad headings are, self-improvement or something for success, or any time you're doing something to help people with their health, their finances, relationships, or spirituality, or if you have a business where you have business skills and you're helping people with their business skills. It could be you're helping people with their mental health or lifestyle or fitness or natural health, or you might be providing some sort of service that someone else in the self-improvement industry needs. And we built this community of people, 1,000+ companies that are all supporting themselves using joint ventures and partnerships. So let's take a more detailed look at how this works and how it fits in. So what we've done is we've created this community where we help you connect with the right people. And we have 3 primary ways that we help you connect. One is through live networking. And every month we do 2 live networking events in which we help folks meet and connect twice a month. In addition to that, we have this searchable online directory. And the way I like to describe the directory is I call it LinkedIn on steroids for the self-improvement industry. So we help you connect there. And we also help you connect through our Facebook group. So let's take a look at what we're doing. And right now, I'm going to be doing a little bit of a demonstration of the directory itself and show you how that works. And to use the directory, you really just need to do 3 simple steps. You create and update your profile for people to find you. You search for potential partners, and then you contact them right through the directory. So let's take a look what we're going to do. We're going to actually go live right now. And if you take a look, who's the directory good for? It's anybody who's a speaker, a coach, an author, a healer, an expert in this broad area that we call the self-improvement area. So let's take a look over here. So at this point, we're going to bring up a website. Hold on a second. We're going to bring up another website here. And we're going to bring up, it's jvdirectory.com, and I'm going to share that with everybody. So you can see exactly what we're doing over here. So let's take a look. Give me a second to share. We'll bring up the screen for you. Okay, and right now we're looking at our joint venture directory. You should be looking at the screen. It's just literally jvdirectory.com, and we're going to step you through it. And if you're interested in a little bit, we're going to give you a link so you can see how to join risk-free, and we'll step you through it. So literally, you just log in over here at the bottom, and you can see it's designed to connect with over 1,000 people, joint venture partners, industry leaders, all these different folks. So let's take a look at how this looks. We're going to log in. That's the first step over here. And this is the joint venture directory. And the first step of using it is to update your profile. It's really 3 steps: update your profile, search, and then contact people. So let's take a look at the profile here. We'll show you how that works. So what you would do is, once you're a member, you'd update your profile. And if you remember, I described it as LinkedIn on steroids for the self-improvement industry. So let's take a quick look, see how this looks. So it starts like most profiles, and you put your name, company name, pictures, things like that. And then you put all your keywords for your focus. If you have your business focus, you identify what that is. And if you're a B2B service provider, you can also put down what you do there. And for example, do you do marketing or business coaching, whatever it is? And you could put some information about, a video for you, your website, things like that, basic stuff. And then if you take a look over here, you can put how you want to be contacted. And I have all my contact information. And then you put in information, your business summary over here, your bio, things like that, so people can see exactly what you're doing here. And at this point, we begin to differentiate ourselves from most of the things that we've seen out there. So we've been talking about joint ventures. So 2 of the things that are important to understand is, first, who is your ideal joint venture partner? Who do you want to work with? What's their audience look like? What's their background? What kind of products or services they have, things like that. So you can literally spell out exactly who your ideal joint venture partner is. And then after that, you want to put in, what do you offer joint venture partners? And you can see we have a wide variety of things that we offer. We have an email list that we offer. We have social media. We do product reviews. We have books on Amazon. So we have all these different things. We have an affiliate program, all these different things that we provide. And once you identify everything that you do in here to value to folks, you can literally go in and specify exactly what your specific interests are. What are you bringing to the table? What are you looking to do when you partner with people? And let's take a look at some of these things. So you might be in a situation where you want to cross promote by email. You literally put yes, and these are all searchable. So we have 1,000+ people who can find you based on this. Or you might want to cross promote on social media, or you might want to be interviewed, or you might be looking for people to interview, or book review, or product reviews, really a wide range of things. Or you might be looking for speaking opportunities, and you can spell out exactly what you're looking for, and you can find people based on this, and they can find you. The next area we ask you to put information on is audience reach. Let's take a look at that. In audience reach, you get an opportunity to put information about your audience. So if you have a social media following of any sort, put it down. Facebook, doesn't matter what size you are, you need to start somewhere. Facebook, we have Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, etc. And then the next area over here, if you have an email list, put down your information about your email list size or website traffic, things like that. And then finally, if you have an affiliate program or a referral program where you pay people commission, you want to put information about your affiliate program in here. Very, very easy, very, very powerful. And this way people can sign up and support you. Once you've identified and put in all your information about what you want to do, the next step is to search for people to work with. And as you can see, here's the search area. We have over 1,900 profiles of people to work with, over 600, I think close to 600 podcasts and summits. There's really a lot of things that you can do, a lot of people to connect with. So let's take a look at how I recommend. So you can literally search by keyword. So let's say health is your keyword. You can go in and say, find people interested in health, and it'll bring up everybody in the database that has to do with health. And it will do a search for you, and you can find if there's 10 people, there's 50 people, there's 100 people. It will bring up everybody that's part of our community that has to do with health. And then you can reach out to these folks. And you can see these are all health related. And let's see how many people. It brought back 461 that have to do with health. And then if you see someone of interest over here, let's take a look. We see Andrea Isaacs. She does health, mental health. If you're interested in working with you, literally click more info. Whoever it is you want to work with, let's take a quick look over here. Click more info, and you can see Andrea Isaacs here. And she describes all the stuff going on with her business, her keywords, her business summary, what she's looking to do. And if she's a good fit for you and someone that you want to work with, you literally go, here's the best way to contact Andrea at andreaisaacs-isaacs.com. And you send her a message based on some of the stuff we talked about today. Or you click contact member. And if you click contact member, it will literally bring up a form to send them an email. Subject line, email, text, sends it right to their inbox. Very, very powerful. So this is a great way to really start. You can search by business focus, for example, business skills, relationships, email list size, name. There's all these different approaches. One of the people we work with is John Asseroff from The Secret. Also, many of the people that are part of the Week of Kindness. But if you're interested, you literally just start typing in their info over here, and you'll see it's going to bring up John Asseroff. He was part of the original movie, The Secret. In this particular case, if you take a look at his stuff, John isn't in it directly. What he does is he has David Heller, who's his affiliate manager, run and work with everybody in terms of finding and connecting with people. So tons of folks to work with. In addition to finding people directly, we also help you hook up with podcasts. So you can literally click podcast host, and let's say you're interested in personal finances. You click personal finances for focus, podcast host, and it will bring up a list of all the podcasts that have to do with personal finances. If you see one of interest, you click Afford Anything Podcast, more info, and you see exactly what they're doing. If it's a good fit for you, we literally have, it's Paula Pant. Here's the show host. Here's the information, email address. You can literally contact her. Very, very simple, very easy. So let's take a look. It's also a database of service providers. If you're a service provider, you can put your info in there. And finally, we have an advanced search that I want to show you. If you remember, we have all these different approaches and ways to work with people. And there are all these different areas that you click. So if you remember earlier, you identified if you want to cross-promote by email or social media. So you can literally go in there and click the ones of interest, and you can do them in combination. So let's say you want to find people to cross-promote by email. Let's say you have an email list of 100 people. You click 100, you want to cross-promote by email, and you search the database. It will bring up everybody in the database with an email list of over 100 people. And then you literally click list size, and it will sort them largest to smallest, so some very big lists, 1 million, 900,000. If you click it again, you'll see smaller lists, 100, 150, or whatever number that you put in. So regardless of what size business that you have, we're going to have people for you to connect with. And in addition to searching in our whole community, we have a whole training section of different courses. Here's one on how to get on podcasts, another on mastering email marketing. This is all included as part of your membership. And then we also have a calendar of all our events and our community events. So every month, I mentioned we have 2 live networking events. We have over 100 people that come. And if for some reason you can't come to a live event, guess what? We record the live events. So you can literally go back and look at recordings of all the previous events. You can listen to them. So, and if you come to one of our events, what you can do is get recorded yourself so people can see what you're doing. So it's very, very powerful. And you can see we have all these recordings of all the previous events. I'm the beginning speaker, so I'm here, but we have all the other speakers as part of it. And then if you look at the calendar, in addition, we have summits and conferences. If you want to get an upcoming summit and conference, you literally click on summit and conferences, and you'll see right now we've been promoting the Week of Kindness, and we have upcoming events, and you can see different conferences coming up or different launches if you're doing a launch. So all of these are part of the joint venture community that we have. All right, so let's take a look. We're going to stop sharing for a minute over here. And what I want to do is I'm going to bring up just a couple more slides. And then we're going to share a link for folks who are interested in joining. And we have it set up where it's going to be a 60-day money-back guarantee if you want to test out and see what we're doing over here. So let's take a look at what we're offering today. So for folks who are looking to find out who's this a good fit for, I think you might have gotten a sense. It's for coaches, speakers, authors, experts, business owners. who are looking to partner. We currently have over 1,800 companies. It's also great for people looking for podcasts. As you can see, we have over 500 of the top podcasts in our industry. And we have a lot of big players and middle-sized players. I mentioned John Asseroff, and you might know Mind Movies or Christian Michelson. So we have a lot of big players that are part of it. We have people at literally every single level, people just getting started, people with medium-sized businesses, six-figure businesses, seven-figure businesses. So regardless of where you are, we have people to work with. The investment to join the joint venture directory for 1 year access to the directory is $697. And it's really these three directories. It's the podcast directory, it's the provider, it's the contacts, all in one. And in order to thank you for being here at the Week of Kindness, we put together what we feel is an irresistible, risk-free offer to get you started today. So for anybody who enrolls as part of the Week of Kindness, anybody listening as part of the conference here, we're going to provide the following for an investment of $397, and it's going to include full access to everything that I showed you for 12 months for $397. So everything that I talked about. So let's take a quick look. It includes 12 general networking calls that everybody has access to, and another 12 calls, so 24 in calls that are specialized. One for coaches, authors, speakers, healers. So you get access to all these. In addition, every month we do a training call, so you get access to all of our training calls. And then we do live onboarding to really teach you and get into the nitty-gritty and how to use this. All the training that we talked about, you get access to all the training, literally a whole history of training programs, plus one every month for the next year. On podcast, email marketing, Suzanne Evans did one on 6 or 7 figure businesses, so you get access to all of these. In addition, we partnered with some companies to get you even more value. One of the people who's a speaker as part of the Week of Kindness is Jackie Lappin, who has a program called Speakertunity. And as part of joining our group, you get 2 months free membership into Jackie Lappin's Speakertunity, Speakertunity Summits, Radio Insider. You get all that as part of your membership. In addition, we partnered with Zoom, where you can get Zoom access with unlimited cloud storage, the Zoom Pro access, unlimited cloud storage, and webinars and meetings for up to 500 people for only $12.99 a month. That's usually over $100. So that's an $800 value right there. And for anybody who wants to recommend us, you get automatic approval, 40% commission for our affiliate program. So you get that as well for anybody who joins as part of the Week of Kindness. So everybody who joins as part of our community and part of the Week of Kindness gets everything here today for $397. So there's one other thing I want to provide an offer for folks. We're big believers in providing benefit for people who take fast action. I like rewarding people who take fast action. So these are a couple of bonuses that we can only give out to folks that sign up during the conference itself. And I just want to share what those are. So anybody who signs up during the conference itself, in addition to what we talked about, I'll do a 30-minute marketing coaching call with you one-on-one. It's a $250 value. And my goal is very simple. I will help you figure out how to get your investment back right away. We're also partnered with Tom Antion, who's a master speaker who has agreed to do a one-on-one coaching call as well. And finally, we have a following of over 60,000 people on Twitter. And sometime during the 12 months, we will do 2 direct promotions on Twitter for you. So that's anybody who takes fast action, signs up right away. But just a reminder, every single person, when you're listening to a recording, can still get this. So we'll enable you to get this anytime you're listening live or the recordings. But to get all the extra fast action bonuses, you need to sign up right away. So let's take a look. One of the things I mentioned earlier is you want to make this risk-free. And the way we do this is we want you to test drive it. Make sure it's right for you. And we're providing a 60-day, 100% money-back guarantee. If for any reason you decide to cancel your membership with us in the first 60 days, you'll receive your entire investment back. And our goal, our commitment is very simple for you. It's to help you make connections that will have a significant impact on your business. And I believe hosts are going to put this link up. And here's the link to sign up. We have a special page just for people as part of the Week of Kindness with all the details. And you go to jvdirectory.com/kindness.html. And I'll give people a chance to jot that down. It's literally JV for joint venture, www.jvdirectory.com/kindness.html. All lowercase works. And when you sign up, you're going to see, you go to this page, you're going to look for the buy button. And there's going to be a spot. When you go to the buy button, it's initially going to say $697. But we want to make sure you get it at the $397. So you're going to need to put the promo code in with the word kindness. Just type in kindness for the promo code and click apply, and it will do two things. One, it will bring the price down from $697 to $397. And the next thing that it's going to do is timestamp it so we know when you signed up to make sure you get all the appropriate bonuses. And I'm just going to take a minute and share. You can take a read of some of the things that other folks have provided. We have a lot of members. I just want to share what some of our other members are saying. This is from Susie Pruden. After hearing my presentation, one of the other attendees contacted me and ended up investing $7,500 with my company. That was in one of the networking. You had 24 of these networking presentations, networking opportunities. Great connection. Highly recommend them. Love Susie. This is another one from Gary Rogers. My participation in the directory, the joint venture directory community, has brought me new clients generating tens of thousands of dollars in additional revenue. You offer the best networking value on the internet. That's from Gary Rogers. And we'll just share one more right now from Rhonda Schur. In my very first networking call, I met someone who enrolled in my training for a 10x return on my investment. I highly recommend joining. So we're going to put this link up one more time. So it's literally jvdirectory.com/kindness.html. And all you need to do is join. If you have any questions, you can always email me. I'm going to give out an email address. It's not over here. If you have any questions, it's david@selfgrowth.com, SELF, growth, david@selfgrowth.com. You can send me any questions you have. And at this point, we're done with our slides for today. So I hope this has been useful for everybody and some good information. And I want to thank everybody for listening and wish you great success with your joint ventures and your partnerships.
David, that was amazing. That was amazing. I have been in a couple of your JV directory meetings and everything, and really have enjoyed it whenever I've had the opportunity to be a part of it. And that's definitely something that is on my list to do right away, is to become a part of that JV directory and become a part of your community, because you've grown something absolutely magnificent over there.
Thank you. Love to have you there.
All right. I can't wait to be there. Well, David, is there anything else you'd like to leave with us before we wrap up today?
Yeah, so we also have a gift that we've offered, and I think there's a link that you're going to be sharing. 21 great ways to catapult your business using joint ventures that everybody has access to. And here's the link over here. So we want to offer that to everybody. So everybody can get access. And it covers a lot of the stuff that I talked about today and a lot of things that I couldn't get to. So this is our free gift for everybody listening. And thank you for listening. And Lisa, thank you for having me here today. This has been great. Greatly appreciated. And thanks for having me as part of the Week of Kindness.
Thank you so much, David. I'm looking forward to having you on more platforms and coming over and for us collaborating in the coming 2023. Let's make it great for everyone.
Sounds good.
All right. Thank you, David. I am going to bring up my new partner in crime here. Hey. Oh, dude, you're fine. Listen, we're all family here. It does not matter. We're all family.
I didn't even have my sports coat on, though. I'm like in the behind the scenes this time.
We're all family. It doesn't matter. We're cool. Hey, I'm sorry to bring up on such short notice, but listen, I wanted to take this opportunity before we go into the next speaker. Do you mind giving us a quick overview of the Easy Way Wall of Fame, because I'm on there. Everybody who's everybody is on there. I wanted to give you just a quick way, because that's another opportunity we have to JV. David Riklan's on there. Everybody who's anybody. Like, I wanted to give you the floor here.
Well, thank you, Lisa. I appreciate it. Yeah, sure. I'd be glad to. And it was great. A lot of really great information, by the way, from David. So I hope you guys were taking notes on that. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here. So rather than just tell you about it, I'm going to show you about it. So do you see my screen, Lisa?
Yeah, we can see it.
All right, perfect. I just got to double check because last time it didn't work when I was speaking. All right, so we're good now. All right, perfect. So basically, the Easy Way Wall of Fame, guys, is similar to what David was talking about, being a directory, but it also has a lot of other ways to promote you. Ultimately, this is meant to promote you to our audience, which we have about 1.5 million people that we potentially reach with our groups on our Facebook. Because as you can see on the left here, I don't know if you're seeing or not. If I'm just talking and you're probably nope, you're just seeing that screen. So let me get off of the screen here 1 second to show you what I'm talking about. So if you go on Facebook and you know anything about groups, there we go. If you know anything about groups, they're the most powerful on Facebook. And you see right here on the left, you see a lot of different groups. And I could literally be clicking on see more like forever. There's probably about 10,000 something groups that we have. And we have an amazing team that manages all those groups. So going back to the Wall of Fame, imagine having a profile, kind of like a Facebook or a LinkedIn, or just any social network that you're used to. Imagine having a profile that you're promoting your business. So we're going to use Katrina Cantus. I know she's watching right now too. So hi, Katrina. We're going to use Katrina Cantus as an example because she's here at the top. So her profile is right here, and everything that she does in her business is packaged. We call it an EPK, electronic press kit. It's like an EPK. So whatever it is that Katrina is wanting to promote at that time, she's putting on the top of her profile. I got a writing done with this weekend. I'm coming down a home stretch now. The book should be out. So she's promoting a book. This is the book she's promoting. And so we are taking this book, this link here at the top, and our team that stands by to promote our members. There's the Week of Kindness. There's her promoting the Week of Kindness. There's her bio right there on the left. There's a little bit about her. She's a solopreneur, graphic designer, author. She has $35 in Easy Way cash, and I'll go into that next time and what that means. And then there's her trailer and what she does. There's some ads on that profile. So imagine if you have something you want to promote and you want to get to a lot of viewers. We have about 600,000 visitors per month. We can promote you on over 5,000 something profiles. So as you see, Katrina's new. She's actually new. She just kind of started with us not too long ago. She's got over 500 views. This is probably less than a week. And she's already tapped into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 32 friends in the Easy Way network. So you guys just watched David Riklan, and it was great information on how to get JVs and how to network. And let's say you want to connect with David Riklan. Well, anybody in the Easy Way community, you can very simply just go to easywaywalloffame.com. You type their name in on the chat, and we make it extremely simple for you to find those people. Now we are partnering up with Lisa and David and Tony and Ronnie and all these amazing people that have stages. Everybody has a stage, and those stages typically will hit a couple thousand people. So once these people are on stages or whatever, you can just immediately follow up. So I always talk about, it's the follow up that makes the magic happen. Action takers are money makers, as I always say. And so this platform just kind of does that for you. All you have to do is have a profile, and it's free. It's free to start, and then you can upgrade. And then we do additional promotion, our TV, our podcasts, our radio, our books, our magazine, all the other stuff we do.
It's insane. And Eric's going to be talking about that during his sales and lead gen discussion tomorrow. So we're super excited about that. So I just wanted to
right after Bill Walsh.
Right after Bill Walsh. You don't want to miss that. Definitely. You do not want to miss Eric. So Eric, I'm going to bring on the next guest here. We're going to start that video. I just wanted everyone to get the opportunity to get over there. Get on the Easy Way Wall of Fame, guys. You're going to be able to reach me and so many others. And I'm telling you, that's another great way to JV. Like you cannot get into enough groups. You cannot get into enough, solid, meaningful communities. It's going to change your world. And Eric changes everybody's world. All right, Eric.
Thank you, Lisa. I appreciate it. I'll see you guys tomorrow.
All right, sounds good. All right. That was Eric Zuley. We thank him so much. We're going to play the outro, and then you guys head on over to see Miss Marla Press. We'll see you soon. Bye. Wow. I hope you enjoyed that just as much as I did. Thank you so much for all of that great information. Hey, we're not done yet. So just relax. We're going to continue on with our next speaker in just a few moments.